Hey everybody, my name is Glenn and I'm just an average guy cooking things that if I can cook them, you can too. And for today's recipe, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make homemade hoagie buns. Now this is actually my first time making these hoagie buns, and I can tell you that so far they look and smell amazing because I haven't actually tried them yet. But as you can see here, I did pair it up with some smoked pulled pork. Now I just pulled that pulled pork out of my electric master built smoker, and it was smoking for nearly 8 hours, and I can tell you it practically falls apart on its own. So I can't wait to try this sandwich, but I've got to shoot this intro first. But before we dive into today's recipe and I show you how to make this, if you are new here, I want to thank you for stopping by and checking out my channel. And I would ask, please hit that subscribe button as well as that bell for notifications. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you guys very much for your continuous support. Please hit that thumbs up if at the end of this video you did find it helpful. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's recipe. So for our ingredients, we're gonna need 6 cups of all-purpose flour, 2.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 stick of softened butter, and 2 large eggs. You're also going to need 1 cup of milk that's been warmed to 105 to 115 degrees. And we're going to start by taking our active dry yeast and our sugar, and we're going to mix it in the warm milk. This is to activate our yeast. Once we've got that mixed, we're just going to sit it off to the side. Now in a large mixing bowl, we're going to take a couple cups of our all-purpose flour, and we're going to mix together our salt, our eggs, and our softened butter. Definitely don't want to lose any of that butter. That's the good stuff. Now we're going to add our active dry yeast, sugar, and milk mixture and mix it once again. And now we're going to go ahead and just slowly add in the rest of our flour and mix it until we've formed a nice, good, consistent dough. Now we're just going to lightly flour our working surface, and then we're going to turn out our dough and we're going to knead it for another 6 to 8 minutes, and we're just basically trying to work in as much of that remaining flour as we can. And then we're just going to form our dough into a ball, and we're gonna place it in a lightly greased bowl, flipping it one time. Then we're gonna cover it and let it sit in a warm, dry place for about a half an hour until doubled. And now that our dough is doubled, we just want to go ahead and punch it down, get all that air out, and we're gonna divide it up. So the way I do this is I form my dough back into a ball, and then I'll just divide it into 6 even portions because we're going to be making 6 hoagie rolls here. And the way I do that is just by cutting the ball in half and then taking each one of those halves and cutting them into thirds. This is just a good way to get equal portions, you know, without having to weigh it out. Just saves a little bit of time that way. And now we're just going to go ahead and form them into rolls. And again, this is my first time doing this, so you'll kind of figure it out as you go, but they're not the prettiest, but they work. And once you've got all those done, and again, you can see totally new at this, but once you've got that done, you want to just go ahead and put slits across the top of each roll about 1 inch apart all the way across. Then you want to take your rolls and let them sit in a warm place again until doubled. And then we're going to take just a little bit of egg wash, which is just egg whites and a little bit of cold water mixed together. And we're going to brush the top of our rolls. Then it's time to place them in an oven that's been preheated to 375 degrees. And we're going to cook these for 15 to 20 minutes until golden brown. Once they're cooked, you want to immediately remove them and place them on a wire rack to cool. And then it's time to serve. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. If you guys have any questions or any comments, please let me know down below. I'd be glad to hear from you. And I definitely can't wait to give this sandwich a try. So I'm gonna give it a try, and I will see you guys on the next one.